pride with no obsessive need for victory. It's the Vocal Minority Podcast.
Nope. I have obsessive need for kits, but points? What the fuck do we need those for?
It really doesn't matter if you listen or not. We're here. Do we need to win? No.
I feel so much calmer this way.
Raise your voice.
It's very serene.
It's not like we can get demoted to that other podcast division.
Yeah. Jesus.
We always get applause. We feel appreciated. It's lovely.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah. I feel like there's people that give us money on Patreon that don't even listen anymore. I mean, delightful.
It's so nice of them.
It really is so nice of them.
Never follow
Thanks,
up
Dad,
with them, guys.
who never
follow
listens
up.
but gives us money. It's great.
Thanks, Pops.
Sure. All right. Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Vocal Minority Podcast, the podcast that honestly just couldn't stretch a couple of signings and a suspect kit into an entire show last week. Sorry. On this week's show, we talk about multiple signings. That's right. More than two across different leagues and everything. It's very exciting. Get into lots of Voyageurs Cup talk, even though it's not for like 3 more months, but still it's exciting. Continue to sneer at the money grab that is the League's Cup and more. And now to this week's panel. Briefly considered becoming a Whitecaps fan if the kit situation stays. Welcome to Duncan Fletcher.
No sponsors. That's not bad. I used to live in Vancouver, so yeah.
That's right.
Are they your boyhood club?
It would be valid. I went to a Whitecaps. I went to an 86ers game back in the day.
Wow. You're old school. That's OG behavior.
Yeah. Swangard Stadium and everything.
Man. We've lost him, guys. That's it.
Does anyone actually guard swans there?
Sadly, no. No.
Excellent question. I've been dying to know.
False advertising.
Mm-hmm. You'd think they'd at least get a mascot dressed up as like Cyril the Swan, and have a couple of like
bodyguards,
mascot guards, like Centurion type thing dressed up to guard this Cyril the Swan mascot. I mean, come on, it's right there.
Or an actual swan like Bitchy, called I don't know, Honky, and then two mascot guards. What? They're white.
Yeah, I mean,
not wrong. Yeah.
If Lanley wants to make itself all about, we're Vancouver, come on, here's your chance. Go with this gimmick to like latch onto Vancouver soccer history. You've got Swan Guards as your mascot. Come on, Vancouver FC. This is you need
this is your chance.
Yeah, burnish your Vancouver credentials, Langley. Come on.
If they're not going to embrace the angry penis falling from orbit, then might as well go for that.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. The women's side of his other team have renewed his loyalty, at least somewhat. It's Mark Hinckley.
You know what? I mean, this is what I've always wanted, and I thought that would have happened many years ago. But then, what's his face decided to play for England, so fuck him. But yeah, this now finally Manchester United, Canada's team. You're welcome, everyone.
No.
2 players and you become name of country's team. That's how it works. Okay?
I think Chelsea's winning. They have 3.
We are Italy's team right now at TFC. You know that, right? The rules state that we were Gambian's team once.
We're not Canada's team. Yeah. There's not more Canadians. There's no more Canadians than Italians right now.
Well, right now Celtic is Japan's team. I mean, Jesus, it's a thing. It's a thing. Okay.
All right. Practicing his Irish accent for the inevitable announcement. Say hello to Tony Walsh.
I'm embracing an angry penis falling from orbit.
Are you falling from orbit currently, holding on to said penis, or you meant metaphorically?
That's one of the mysteries of the universe.
Why is your penis angry? Why are you in orbit?
I don't think it's going to protect you from the re-entry, just like the one angry penis.
No, it's covered with ceramic panels like the space shuttle.
Better than a latex one, am I right?
Mm-hmm.
Angry penis.
Maybe he's allergic. No, anyway.
Who's allergic?
Latex.
Penis?
Anyway. Yes.
Why he's allergic to latex?
It's angry.
People can. Yes, exactly. That's why it's angry. You've never heard of latex allergies?
Yeah.
Well then. All right,
All right,
moving on.
great. Maybe Vancouver FC can be sponsored by Lambskin.
Oh, there we go. See that shows a little, that's a next level kind of thing. And think of the mascot?
A skin of a lamb?
Oh my God.
Well, no, the mascot would just be the skinned lamb. The lamb
okay.
without skin. It's just, a completely, not just sheared, but completely skinned lamb can be the mascot.
All right, this has gone terribly, terribly awry. Even more so than normal.
Almost like one of those illustrations in a butcher shop.
Yeah, exactly. No. Yes. Yeah.
That'll bring the kids out. That'll be perfect.
Yeah.
It's Skinny the lamb.
Oh dear. Anyway, as for me, Hamilton, just just cool your jets, man. Like seriously, just back off. This public wooing is getting embarrassing for both of us. So anyway, I am your host, Kristin Knowles, and now to our show.
Submit.
Nah, I'm a brat. What's been going on? All right, some things have actually been happening because up until fairly recently, this off season has been a bit of a snooze fest. Even CanPL has only sort of been doing things in dribs and drabs, but Toronto has been so quiet, almost Bjork level quiet for much of this off-season.
Serene is the word.
Serene, sorry, calm and serene. Yes, you're right. But now they've actually signed some players, but none of the ones that we've been talking about. So welcome Adama Diamonde and Raul Petretta.
Sure.
Yeah.
Excitement.
Raul.
Actually, you know what? Out of the two, Petretta is the one to be excited about, I think. One, he's only 25, an actual youthful player. Someone not in their 30s.
Ooh.
Okay. You piqued my interest. Continue.
In a position we actually, he's a left back. We don't have one of those. I know.
This is okay. What's wrong with him? Is he missing a leg?
Not so far as I've been able to tell.
Is he missing both legs?
So is this why Ashton Morgan got announced at Hamilton just recently? He was hoping to fill TFC's left back void, but now he's they've got one. Fine, I'll sign with Hamilton again.
Fine, I'll resign. Maybe, who knows?
Yeah.
Petretta sounds like a fancy sausage. That's a good Petretta.
Oh, that's a lovely Petretta.
Yeah.
It's a spicy Petretta. I think just
with some Adama cheese together.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's a tasty sandwich. But again, he looks decent. He's got some decent ratings on FOTMob. He's, played at a good level. I think easily a comparable level. And has, featured in some big competitions. He's played in Champions League. He's played in Europa League.
It's good Petretta.
Go on.
Basil.
Oh yeah, a little sprinkling of basil. Oh, lovely.
Yeah, a couple sprigs. Things set.
Fresh torn. Yeah, it's delightful.
Where did he play?
Oh, this guy's a club sandwich turkey. And he's played in the Swiss League. I mean, Jesus Christ.
For who?
Basil. This is amazing.
Do we have to have the argument about how Basil is pronounced?
Nah, it's Basil, isn't it? It's Basil.
We can if you want, but
I'm good. I don't care. No, but I'm good with Basil. But I feel like there's a lot of pronunciations out there for it.
Is it Basil, Basil, Basil?
I think there's at least one of them that's just like Bal.
Is it what? Like, do you say Bal?
Yeah, without really an S sound at all.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. That's interesting.
Mm.
Well,
fucking Switzerland. How many languages do they have in Switzerland?
That's true. That's a good point.
Or 8.
Yeah.
I've lost track.
There's a lot. There's a lot.
This sandwich would go perfectly good on rye, Felden.
Anyway, he seems like he fills an immediate need. Looks like again on paper, I don't know much about him, but I haven't seen anybody being like, "This is a terrible signing." I've seen mostly like, okay, this makes a lot of sense. Again, like based on his experience, based on performance with his past clubs. Again, I really do love that he's not in his 30s.
Yeah.
Which is, a change from the other player that they signed, which is a forward, because we need those apparently. So we were talking about Norwegians. We were really excited they were going to sign a Norwegian player. Just no idea it was going to be this one. Now Diamande, he's a known name, right? So, but
everyone's heard of Diamonds.
Oh yeah.
And he's got MLS experience, which is handy. So he's played, he understands the league. He won't have any, there's no adjustment, right? Because he's played here for, a few years. And he's played, and of course he's already played for Bob Bradley. So there at least is whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, whether it's just Bradley bringing in, players that he knows and likes, which isn't always a bad thing, but
Daddy's little diamond.
At least in this, again, in this case, there's no adjustment for that either. Like he knows the coach, he knows what the coach expects, so that's a straight forward integration into the squad as far as I'm concerned. I guess the real question is what it means for existing players. So a lot of people are talking about players that might move on now.
I thought you were going to say they become non-existent.
It's more like what it means in terms of who they keep around. Does Jesus Jones, if he doesn't have a great preseason camp, is he done? Who's the other one that's basically on the chopping block? Is it Akinola? No. Yes.
So if you stuck a lump of coal up Jesus Jimenez's ass, he becomes a diamante.
Oh. That's what happened. I mean, Jimenez started out great last year, and then just nothing happened at all because we stuck a lump of coal up his ass.
Yeah, and now it's become a diamante.
I imagine that would be uncomfortable and would hinder your performance.
To badly quote Chicago Fire fan Ferris Bueller.
Noted.
Anyway, it's not a terrible signing, but it's not a woohoo. This is so exciting. This is more like, okay, so bench strength, sure, bench strength that Bob Bradley knows and that has played in MLS. Because again, he's not young. He's 32 right now. He's gonna be 33 in a couple weeks. So, it's another kind of.
Where was this guy when I was writing pun headlines?
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
Very disappointing.
Yeah. Opportunity missed.
Duncan, yes.
No, I was just going to say, I don't really know that much about either of the two of them, and they're okay. But yeah, I am not convinced that the club is dramatically improved from last year at all as of yet. But yeah.
Well, the almost signing, the signing that we're all literally, well, not literally, but everyone's sort of like any second now, is of course the Sean Johnson signing, which apparently, according to various sources and people, some more known than others, all over Twitter this afternoon, is that it's basically a done deal. They're just it's not gonna get announced till later on in the week because he is currently off with the U.S. Men's national team for a friendly, which again I think is tomorrow, day after recording. But again, I don't pay that much attention to the American team, so I literally have no idea. But that's where he is. That much I know. I know he's at the U.S. camp right now.
Which is a shame that he didn't declare for Northern Ireland, but whatever.
But anyway, it does seem like it's happening. And I think, again, it doesn't solve all of Toronto's problems, obviously. But if Petretta is a competent left back, if we feel like, oh my God, what is his name? What's the new center back's name?
His new
Hedges.
centre back.
Thank you, Matt
Thank you.
Hedges. I know. I was
Right,
like,
that guy. Yes.
the
I'm here.
bush.
I'm here for analysis.
You know, and you know, again, like Sean Johnson, yes, again, he's probably coming to like the sunset of his career, but he's still early 30s, you know, perfect, still a good age for a keeper, and incredibly talented, as we saw like a year and a half ago in the finals, right? Like he's a known MLS quantity, but he's one of the top keepers in MLS, and I think that can only be a good thing. And
Not
so
a
if we've
youngster
got,
like Bill, not a youngster like Bill Hamid.
which is still so bizarre, I can't believe he's older than Bill Hamid. Less injured apparently. I don't know, but I think it's a good signing. But the funny thing about this, of course, is apparently the Patrice Bernier is the one with the knowledge pipeline here, because he made the announcement early today before anybody else said anything. No journalists, no anything else. Patrice Bernier is just like, oh yeah, Sean Johnson signing with
He's a
Toronto.
Fabrizio Romano of MLS.
Is it Quebec Fabrizio Romano?
Yeah. What's "here we go" in French?
Allons-y.
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 All right. We got the allons-y from Patrice Bernier.
Yeah.
Like, if out of all the things, all the news that I would figure Patrice Bernier would break, you know, for MLS players or whatever, that was not the one at all. Maybe the inside track on what's happening with Kai Kamara, because that's still apparently very up in the air. But this just threw me completely.
He needs a good ITK account.
It's true. You should make one for him, Tony. Run it
There you
down.
Something bear related. Some kind of good bear pun. What do bears hide? The honey pot.
Anyway, so that was just like kind of amusing. I thought that Patrice Bernier was breaking the news. But again, we've talked about Sean Johnson. I think it's going to be a good signing. And something.
What are you basing that on?
Basing that on that Sean Johnson is a good goalkeeper and better than the two that we had, even though I am a massive fan of Quentin Westberg.
Atlanta's Quentin Westberg?
Atlanta's Quentin Westberg. Oh, God.
Gross.
Ew.
He's so gross. I know.
Ew.
But, you know, Sean John's a better keeper. He just is. And I don't think anybody could argue that.
Did you call him Sean John?
I did.
She did, yeah.
Like the P. Diddy line of clothing?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
offensive.
Because the clothing line was terrible. Yeah, I know. You're right. I'm sorry.
Yeah, anyway.
Anyway.
But yeah, he's a better goalie than Bono and Westberg. So if he turns up here, that'll be an improvement, sure.
I mean, I'm all for a guy who just stays on his motherfucking line. So I have very low expectations and necessities when it comes to goalies. So, yeah, this is anytime.
Yeah, were Bono and Westberg ever in sort of high-profile national TV commercials or anything?
Exactly, right? Like, come on. This is literally a known quantity. He has a national ad campaign. So
yeah, what was that for? I don't remember. I want to say Gatorade or something, but I don't. I can vaguely picture it. He's serving penalties against Portland, but what was it for? Don't know.
That's right.
I thought Quentin Westberg shilled the Vanny 3000 in France.
Overseas commercials don't count. You know that.
Oh, tell that to Japan.
I was going to say, so the big celebrities all go to Japan where no one sees their commercials. That's why they do it.
For a relaxing
Until the internet. Oh my God. Anyway, so, you know, we'll talk about the Sean Johnson signing next week, because that's when we'll have the official picture of him holding up the kit and all those good things. As I alluded to in the intro.
This is a very visual podcast, so that will help. Yeah.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, that's what we're known for. Ashton Morgan has re-signed with Hamilton, which
means Kristin is a supporter for another year.
Duncan already talked about this.
Well, I'm talking about it again, so fuck you.
Redundant.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be done in 20 minutes if you just repeat things, Kristin?
Mm-hmm. Quick, say everything else that's going to be in the show.
Anyway, I wish he played for a different team. I am glad to see him continuing to play. I was concerned that this was going to be like a one and done sort of thing for him, but I would much rather see him continue to have a football career because, I'm a massive fan of his. And I think he's a good fit for Hamilton. So yeah, congratulations, Ashton. I still don't really like your team, but you make it very difficult.
Your Valentine's card is in the mail.
Basically.
Dear Kristin, meh. Love Forge.
All right. Kyle Laren has a new team. Yay. Actually,
You're on a roll.
Didn't you just get a new team?
This is a new team.
Newish team. He'd been with the other team for a year. Anyway.
Did he ever even really play for Bruges? Or
yeah, but it was only last summer that he joined, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But he wanted to play in purple again.
Oh God, yeah, that's the callback. Hopefully, he was out of contract with Besiktas and then went to Bruges, and then that just obviously wasn't working. He barely played, and he needs minutes. He's a
growing boy.
Yeah. He's a good player and scores goals when you let him. So, meaning when you let him play.
He's just bruised. He's not finished.
So, Real Valladolid, however you say that. Duncan, how badly did I butcher it?
Yeah, I would go with Valladolid.
Oh, yeah.
That sounded sexy as fuck.
Well, Duncan's better at that than I am.
Real Valladolid. Yeah.
Oh, man. That got my Petretta going.
Oh, yeah.
But
I'm busy now.
They're signing him from a place of need. Like they need a goal scorer. They are suffering for goals. They're near the bottom of the table. So he is expected to contribute immediately. So a lot of eyes will be on him. But that's good. I feel like I'm hoping that given his sort of over the last few years newfound maturity and that sort of thing and calmness in front of the net, like he does very well. God, it feels so weird saying nice things about Kyle Laren. But hopefully this is a rejuvenation for his club career, because there are
you're getting all choked up.
Yeah, that's totally what it is. There are important things coming up for the Canadian men's national team this year that he will hopefully have an opportunity to contribute. So congratulations, Kyle. And then Jade Riviere, yay!
There it is.
Who has had a rough year, coming off of an injury, but has been, over the last month, back in the gym, back in training, like actual, joining training sort of thing. So she's raring to go, and it's great. She's such a fantastic player, and she's got a massive career ahead of her. She's only 22. Just so much fun to watch, so much skill. I'm excited for her, and this is a huge sort of like signing within the WSL as well, because United are very close. Like they're just behind the league leaders, and anyway, she's super excited about it. If you like, between her and the Man United women's socials, like it's just a giant thread of excitement, and so it's very good. And Marcus, again, I know you're quite excited about this.
Yeah, I mean, now I gotta try and justify getting 2 Man United kits with the fucking names and numbers on the back. I'd like to re-up on my hatred of DHL, but it's incredible that, like, I love seeing obviously Canadians go pro. I love seeing Canadians go pro on teams that I support, that I like, and I'm just shocked that it's taken Manchester United this fucking long to sign 2 Canadians, let alone 1. That other guy doesn't count. I don't give a fuck. He can stay in Calgary, wherever the fuck he's from. Hargraves, if anyone's not sure, talk about Owen Hargraves. Sorry, I didn't mean to bring him up. But yeah, I mean, good for her. I mean, I don't know how much of a coup it is because I don't follow the women's football transfer market, but I mean, she's 21, 22.
She's 22. She just turned 22.
Just turned 22. 22 and like regardless of where they are on the pantheon of women's football, it's still a massive fucking club, and that's big. So that Man United women's side is getting better. They're moving from strength to strength, and
they're no Doncaster Bells.
There are no Doncaster Bells. I'm aware of the greatness that is the Doncaster Bells. I am very well aware of that. However, I mean, we got a long way to go. But
anyway, there's lots of Canadians.
The fact that she's part of the bill is amazing.
Lots of members of the WNT XNT that play in the WSL, and you can watch the match as well. Sportsnet carries a lot of them, but if you don't have Sportsnet, FA Player, it's if you just search up FA Player on Google, it'll take you to it. It's free. You get to watch league matches. You get to watch FA Cup match. Like it's fantastic. I cannot say enough nice things about it. So if you want to watch a lot of our Canadian players from the women's team, that's the place to go. So it's awesome. All right, well, it's time to talk about what we're talking about. I know it's a strange way to intro that section, but it's what I've done, so we're going to live with it and continue to move on. And the first thing we're going to talk about is the Voyageurs Cup. Woo! Because we love the Voyageurs Cup. We do. It is one of our very favorite things. And this year is even better because there's more clubs in it, which is wonderful. The more, the merrier. Like, just every year, add more clubs. Every year, like, let's just keep building this and making this a bigger competition and a better competition. And just, yes, love it. So the 2023 Canadian Championship, oh, I hate it that they call it that, but whatever, kicks off Tuesday, April 18th. But this is the thing that kills me is apparently we're calling it the Battle of the North now.
Yeah.
Huh?
I am not.
But they're all from the north.
It's just.
Are they really? I imagine they're all pretty fucking southern Canada.
Yeah,
There's no
Canada's
Canada's team.
Like,
yeah, but Canada's north.
Are they that
Duncan.
jealous of
Yeah.
the we the North? Like, is the Canada Soccer just go, man?
Like,
How do
even
we get
Winnipeg's
some-
going, I don't know. Like, and then
But Battle of the South North just doesn't roll right.
Just leave it the fucking Voyageurs Cup. Like, why
Yeah,
do you
how
need to
about
add
just-
another
yeah.
tagline to this? God.
are these games going to be available on the fucking Apple MLS Pass thing? Because, okay, now I understand why they're doing it. Because this is marketed to the wrong fucking country.
Exactly. Like, we don't like Raptors being we the North. That's because it's the only Canadian franchise in the NBA, and you've got to have something to give you the low man on the totem pole, whatever kind of mentality. Oh, we're the only Canadian club, and blah blah blah. We're from the North, but this is a Canadian just anyway. Just
There's
no.
there's not even FC Edmonton anymore.
Exactly.
Which would arguably make it the North, I would say.
If
but-
all the matches were played in Edmonton, then yes.
Maybe it's on Baffin Island finally, what we've been calling for forever.
Oh, that would be so cool.
Yes. It's a Battle of the North. Okay. Everyone's going to have to travel up to Baffin Island. I like it.
Then I will withdraw all complaints.
Yes.
I'd like that better than the League's Cup or whatever that thing is called. That hot mess in the summertime.
We're gonna talk about that in a minute. Talk rant, whatever. We're going to. So 4 rounds from April to June, and what's great, again, like I said, there's new clubs that are now part of this. Obviously, the new CanPL side, Vancouver FC, but very exciting.
Is D-Row United in it?
No, I'm sorry.
Yet.
FC Laval from the PLSQ. And the thing that I'm most excited about, and most people are most excited about, is from League One BC, which is the TSS Rovers from Richmond, which is such a cool club and such a story. It's a fan-owned club, and they have like an incredible fan base. They do so much, so it's huge to see them part of this. So should they get out of their first round or whatever, fans will travel. Like you'll see traveling support for that. It'll be cool. And then everybody else. So the rest of the CanPL teams, the other MLS sides, and then Vaughan Azzurri from League One Ontario. Exciting stuff. It's going to be so great. Yeah.
FC
So it's
Laval. Did you mention FC Laval?
I did. Yeah.
Okay,
So they're one of the three new teams that are
cool.
in for the first time.
Right.
Can we get half and half scarves yet? I don't know how much of a junkie I would be for that shit. Like, this isn't the discussion about half and half scarves evil. This is more of like, I would kind of really like to see some kind of merch, like only when that third tier, is it the third tier? Is the second tier? The non-CanPL, non-MLS teams play one of those teams, just to I remember when obviously I don't, because I can't think of the fucking name. Was that
Masters?
Oh yeah, that's one of them.
York?
No, damn it, the name of the Quebec team that showed up and played Hamilton. Like, I would have.
Blainville.
Thank you, ask Blainville. Fuck, you think I'd remember a name like Blainville?
Deadass.
Blainville.
Yeah, that sweet defense. Yeah, like I would have, just because it's more of like hey guys, you've made it, so we're gonna do this run of fucking scarves. Like, I don't want one. As much as we made one for the 2020 Cup final.
Still one of my all-time
it's still amazing
ever. Like, it's so great.
I don't necessarily need one for every round, but like, I think it would be kind of sweet to have a TSS Rovers cavalry half and half. You know what I mean? Like, it would just, it's sure. Like, hey, look, here's like the only souvenir to commemorate the fact that we won something once and went somewhere with it. It's almost more of a token for the other team rather than like the bigger team. But I would want those, because like it's all part of like what always fascinated me about scarves and kits and shit like that is that the cultural meaning that they have. And even like the commemoration ones, I know, like the half and half scarves that you can get littered around many stadiums around at least England, I know that for sure, are considered that's a crime. It's like, yeah, but it's also a souvenir for a tourist, and look, it's okay that they have them. It's fine. Nobody's walking around going, yes, I do support both Burnley and Bournemouth. Like nobody, like, that's not a fucking thing. It's just for the moment.
Burnley are my milk cup team.
Yes. Oh yeah. But not in the Premier League. No. But yeah, like I don't know. I just wanted like a little more to commemorate, like, because like, fuck, ask Blainville, for Christ's sakes, and I couldn't think of the name. And that's probably one of the best names in that entire level. Just because it's got the word, Blaine in it. Because I like to skirt around some ass, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, anyway, I would like more tangible things with in and around this cup. I know it's still early, clubs are still small, money, revenue issues, yada yada yada, but it would be kind of sweet to have something like
to have like anything. Yeah, you know what, that is definitely a
stretch
void.
goal. I will reach out to Canadian Soccer Association and make all those fucking scarves for my loom Kickstarter.
There we go. This is how it begins, folks. This is how it all begins.
This podcast has just been a sounding board to flesh out ideas for my pending business. This has nothing to do with fucking TFC anymore.
Obviously, we talk about it literally almost every week. So, like, if anyone's surprised by that, then they just haven't been listening, because we're pretty obvious about it.
If this loom ever becomes a reality, I'm going to have to spend about 4 months going through every episode, picking out all the references that we've made, because there's at least 5 figures worth of sales in those podcasts, and I just can't remember what they are.
Easily. It's going to be so great.
Can you make kits on a loom, Mark? Make a nice scratchy woolen kit.
The word you think you're looking for is sweater, Duncan. So yes, you can make a sweater. There's a not semi-related. There's a guy. Shout out to Kevin. Goes to Forge Games. I don't know where this joke started, but somebody knitted him a Forge kit.
Get the fuck out.
And it's like, and he wore it in July and August in the hottest ass days, even those days, the games where I didn't go because I didn't want to die from heat stroke at a football match. He went there wearing them. Apparently there were socks that were about to be made, and he had just received the shorts after August. So he's going to have a full knitted kit. And that's disturbing.
Knitted shorts. Yeah.
Oh my god!
Does it come with a name and a number on it?
It sounds so uncomfortable.
No, but to be fair, it does. So it's orange, and it's got like a big yellow band in the middle, and like in gray, it's like all knitted. Of course, it says Forge right across the front. I'm like, if somebody at the fucking club doesn't notice that and said, at least let's make warm-ups next year, they are idiots. That is like, I would buy one. Absolutely not a knitted one, but I would buy one in an homage to that. 100%. That's absurd. He needs more camera time. I think that's what it is.
Is that what it is? Mm. That'll do it, right? That'll totally get the eyes on.
I feel like I've seen that guy who takes his shirt off. He's on the camera all the time.
Yeah,
Alan, you can't get away from him.
Oh, that guy.
Where's the guy in the knitted jersey?
Behind him and to the right, but too much. Yeah, nobody needs to see Alan with the shirt off. I don't think Alan's ever taken a shirt off, but let's go with the narrative that he does. No,
these are two different people that I have in mind.
Oh yeah, then there's the Yeti. Yeah, that guy. Yeah.
Oh, that guy. Yeah.
Yeah. What's up, Jason? How you doing? Anyway, yeah, knitted. Yeah, sweaters. Okay, sorry, remembering where it came from with this entire tangent. Sorry.
It's all good. All right. So Voyageurs Cup, which is something that is near and dear to our hearts. We love it dearly, and cannot wait for it to start, and should be, again, more teams, great stuff, new clubs that have never been in it before, just exciting things. So it's all very good. And then
do we know the format of the draw? We know that it says of Dunfield and Ricketts are going to be doing the draw. Do we know the format? Is it like balls from a big pot? We're gonna
talk about that in a few minutes, Duncan.
Okay.
I want to talk about Terry Dunfield's balls.
Yeah,
we're gonna
need a big bowl for those. Apparently,
we're gonna discuss this stuff. The Voyageurs Cup draw.
Bowl Terry.
In the next segment, because it's what's coming up.
Oilers.
Anyway, I had a really good segue going, and you ruined it. So
go on. Go back to it, though, Kristin.
Okay, so the Voyageurs Cup, which we love, we're super excited about. It's one of our favorite things. And then instead, we turn our attention to an upcoming competition this summer after the Voyageurs Cup. So at least we'll have been happy for a while, and then we can just be angry all at once. Something called the Leagues Cup, otherwise known as the MLS Liga MX Money Grab.
The Rumbelows' Cup. The Little Woods' Cup, Coca-Cola's Cup.
Horrible. It's going to be horrible.
Leagues Cup.
It's the official CONCACAF competition where all 47 clubs from Liga MX and MLS will play in a World Cup style tournament that will qualify 3 clubs for the 2024 CCL.
Woo.
And they're going to shut down the league for an entire month for this bullshit.
Yeah.
Because this is, anyway, it's just.
Hey, to be fair, what's happening in the Premier League this weekend? They're shutting it down for the FA Cup. This is just something that your top leagues do, Kristin.
I don't like that you're trying it all, Duncan.
And Duncan, if I thought you really believed that, I would respond with umbrage. But since I know you don't, I'm going to chuckle instead.
It would be great if the entire FA Cup was held in the middle of the season.
Yes. Take a month off.
Take a month off.
The entire FA Cup.
Good Lord.
All the way from like the 8th qualifying round.
Yeah.
Yeah. The whole thing.
Oh my God. Can you imagine?
Have all your Premier League teams sitting around doing nothing while all your little towns of 5,000 people play each other for the first few times. And then eventually, you guys could eventually come in after a few weeks. And let's do the whole thing within 1 month. Yes.
So there's lots of complicated groupings and, balance the West versus the East and the regions. And then there's like one section has 4 groups and one section has 3 groups because LAFC they get to advance to the knockout stage and Pachuca. Anyway, so
the interesting thing about the way the groups are is that nobody cares.
Nobody cares. But do you want to know who TFC are playing against?
I could care less.
No.
Well, at least there's one of them's the Pizza Rats, so fuck that.
The other ones we never get to
exactly.
See that.
We never get to play them. But the other one's Atlas. So
sure, whatever.
Okay.
I'm actually
my attention
kind of looking forward to that.
I'd be more interested in reading an Atlas.
But
also true.
It's the first time they will have ever played them.
Whoop-de-doo.
No, this is anyway. I just can't see how it's gonna be good.
And where's this? Is this also going to be broadcasted on Crab Apple TV?
No. Well, no, you will be able to. Sorry.
That's TSM, by the way.
Oh God, yeah. Sorry, it is going to be on Crab Apple. It's the linear broadcast home for select Leagues Cup matches. No, it's Apple TV.
Ooh, I love linear broadcasting.
Don't you? It's beautiful. Anyway, so Univision, Fox Sports, TSN, and RDS will have the select, but everything else, of course, is going to be on Apple TV.
I hope we're selected.
I know.
That would be exciting.
It's
I have a question.
It's a whole month. Yeah, go ahead.
No, really, why?
Money.
Like, I know that, but why?
Yeah, but what money though? From what? Like, nobody's going to be fucking interested in this piece of crap.
They think they're gonna get so much money from this. They think they're gonna get like ticket sales and.
Oh my God, no.
Yeah, because like all those Atlas supporters are going to come up here.
Merchandise. Yeah. I don't know. But this is, they've been champing at the bit to do something like this. They've been trying. They've been working towards this for ages.
Tony, I'll have you know, Atlas is like the 9th most supported team in all League of MX.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I take everything back I've said.
I mean, I understand that, like the business part of it, but it just seems like this is
I think part of it, honestly, I think they're
already,
trying to
just get it over with. Why do we have to do this long?
Just combine the 2 leagues and leave us alone. Yeah.
Let's make an MLS that's like fucking. We know it's gonna get to 60 teams. I thought it was gonna take another 8 years. We can just get it over with in one weekend. Just do it, like a 60-team league.
Just get a hotel room already.
Is this
presumably including this? This presumably including the CPL will be included in this sort of mega league. It's Canada's top league. Yes.
Sure.
Oh, there we go.
And the Caribbean nations, everybody.
I do think.
Is this supposed to take place every year?
I think so.
That's grand.
Because it's because part of it is the qualify. There's qualifiers into the CCL. So.
Oh, good, because the CCL will seem like such an important tournament after tournament has already taken place with the 2 biggest leagues having already played each other.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Everyone will be really chomping at the bit to see some Saprissa action.
Are they
Go
reducing the amount of MLS games, given that they're taking a month out of the schedule to avoid like overcrowding at the beginning and at the end? Are they reducing the amount of games overall?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay.
I didn't notice anything like that on the schedule or with the schedule announcement. If I'm wrong, please, listeners, let us know. But pretty sure that's a negatory.
It's all right. But most of the league matches are going to be on Apple TV anyway, so hardly anyone's going to watch them.
Anyway, at least
most of all of these matches are going to be on.
I mean, no one's going to really care. There's not going to be a really pressing, obsessive need for victory. So Lorenzo Insigne is going to love it. More so than MLS.
The stadiums are going to be serene as fuck.
Oh, yeah.
So calm.
Where do these games take place? A TFC playing Atlas at home or away?
They haven't. I don't think they've done that part of it yet. So I don't know how.
Lord.
The
it's
tournament
all taking place in a bubble in Winnipeg.
The tournament will be played.
Wow.
Let me finish this.
Relax, Kristin.
Yeah.
No, my calm has been erased. The tournament will be played across the US and Canada. So that's interesting.
Could be anywhere.
No games in
it's like selected theaters when a movie comes out.
That's the worst, especially when it's one you want to see.
Yeah.
Anyway. Okay.
Winnipeg's still in the running as far as I'm concerned.
Beginning in 2023, MLS and Liga MX will pause their respective league seasons each summer to compete in the World Cup style tournaments.
Do you want to take a bet how long this will last?
CONCACAF competition. So like CONCACAF push for this. But the thing is, the one thing I wanted to say that I think is part of all of this and why it's starting now, although again, they've been trying to do this for a while, is as some sort of, this is a lead up to the World Cup.
But what about it?
They are trying to capitalize on the fact that the World Cup is being held in North America in 3 years.
What does that have to do with this?
They think because it's a World Cup style tournament, they're trying to capitalize on. And I'm not saying that's what Duncan. You know I don't agree with that, but I'm saying I bet you that's what they're doing.
All right,
a group stage with Argentina and a group stage with Real Salt Lake is exactly the same thing.
Yes, because that's exactly what I just said.
No, I'm not saying you. I'm saying from their brains.
This is a CONCACAF tournament. They are the ones pushing for this, and CONCACAF, they are the ones that pushed for the tournament. Anyway, I just think that is a huge part of it. I have another question, and I genuinely do not expect any one of you to answer this. This is more for the universe at large. No, seriously, fucking why? Why? Come on. Why? Fuck off. Why? Anyway, okay. I'm going to keep coming back to that question. Yeah, it's a good question.
Over the next 3 months.
Yep.
I mean, you can try to convince me that this is a good idea. I'll genuinely say that it's probably a better idea for teams that have, say, a large Mexican diaspora within their city, and maybe that's going to super appeal to them, and that's totally cool. But there's also a lot of places that probably don't have a large Mexican diaspora who won't give a flying shit about this. And
Montreal's jacked.
Oh,
I know they're so going to be loving it. They get
for a serious as to why answer there. I think Liga MX is definitely watched more than MLS and everything in America. So they're trying to attract all those fans who will only watch Liga MX teams. And
I get that. I get that.
Check it out. This American team beat your team in this contest that nobody cared about that was in your preseason. You'll watch our league now, won't you?
That's not how it works, guys, but that's okay. I understand it for all of its absolutely absurd money-driven faults, and as obvious as they are, and there's no amount of eye rolling that's going to ever make this fucking nonsense stop. So, let's see how it plays out.
The other issue with this is that literally the 3 weeks before is the Gold Cup this year.
Yeah.
Literally the 3 weeks before, June 24th to July 16th. Leagues Cup starts on July 19th. So
some players won't play with their clubs for like 2 months.
Exactly.
Anyway,
so it's just going to be because, it'll be, like clubs won't be able to hold players back because they want them for the Leagues Cup, even though they're, to say, oh no, we're going to go play in the Gold Cup before this. Oh, what if you get injured? Well, fuck you, I'm playing in the Gold Cup. And I don't think they have, you see clubs try to do it all the time, but I don't think the mechanism is available for them to do that. Besides, it's not like they're traveling, it's within the same federation, it's all right there. It's all CONCACAF would come down hard. Gold Cup is arguably far more important than this bullshit tournament. So anyway, just I'm
actually like genuinely interested in how it was sold to clubs who won't do well in this, because the summer months are big business for a lot of the American cities. Mm-hmm. Like, so for a team that goes out immediately, which there will be some, they then have to sit around doing what for the rest of this tournament?
Yeah, once the group stage is over.
Yeah. Yeah.
They get to play in the Europa Leagues Cup.
Oh.
Yeah. It'll be a sort of secondary tournament for the cool. Losers.
Cool.
Yeah. Mm.
That will be, that's great, actually. Mm-hmm. I like that. But yeah, it's that aspect of it is such a hot mess. And anyway, we will see what happens. I doubt.
I'm going to refuse to talk about it on the show in any real way.
Yeah, presumably this means we get to take a month off in the summer.
Yes.
Seconded.
I mean, the KPL isn't
exactly.
Oh,
and maybe you guys can learn to love it.
Come to KPL games, and
I'm happy to talk about KPL on the show. Just a KPL only. I don't want to discuss this hunk of crap.
All right, let's see here.
Fair.
Oh my god. So I didn't even realize this. To kick off the Leagues Cup,
Diana Ross.
MLS All-Stars versus it's the All-Star game is the 19th.
Great. Oh, you got to start it off with a really important. That's how they're
kicking it off. That's fucking hilarious. I did not realize that. So I'm just like I'm scrolling through the MLS schedule right now.
I just want a futsal tournament. That's all the fuck I want. Just give me a futsal tournament instead.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, I would absolutely just bathe in that shit. I would love it. Absolutely adore it. I don't need this. I don't. Anyway.
So the thing with the Gold Cup, leading into the Leagues Cup is because usually in Gold Cup years, MLS pauses for like 2 weeks. Not for the whole tournament, but they usually take 2 weeks because they know lots of players are away, because Gold Cup teams tend to be made up of players in season, which is MLS players. So they're not doing that this time. They're playing through the Gold Cup and stopping for the Leagues Cup. But again, players are going to leave, and it's just going to be a shit show anyway.
I'm not sure if I've ever wanted to see a football thing fail as much as this.
Not the Super League?
Well, yeah, yes, Super League definitely first, but it never actually happened. So
true.
It failed before it could get off the ground. Hopefully forever. Well, undoubtedly, I doubt it, but whatever. But yes, of existing actual tournaments or leagues, yes, this is,
Yeah. Oh, I know.
F this noise.
It's a nightmare. So, well, listeners, please do, seriously, let us know your thoughts on this tournament. We're very curious to know if are there people that are excited about it? If you're excited about it, please do tell us why. Seriously, why is this something that you're attracted to? If you hate it as much as we do, please share. And then
have you bought your Leagues Cup ticket package?
Please do look forward to us for, a good chunk of the summer, just tearing this thing to shreds. It's going to be great. You'll love it. So speaking of tearing things to shreds, last week, a picture appeared on Twitter under the TFC Live hashtag from some store somewhere. Some kits. It's apparently the new TSC kit. And there have been reactions to said kit. And it's been fascinating that it is for the most part either rage at how much they hate it, to like this other side, which it doesn't seem to be minimal. There seems to be a lot of people that really like it, that are really excited about this kit. And like, I'm sort of withholding judgment until I see it like on a person and not hanging on a rack. Like, I thought maybe it was the replica kit, but then it sounds like no, that's not the replica kit. That's the actual kit. And if it's the actual kit, then I might have some concerns, because I like the concept of it with the stripy body and the sleeves, but what it looked like hanging on that rack, I don't know. Anybody else thoughts? Does anyone see this? Does anyone know of this? Does anyone have an opinion? What's happening? Mark?
No, I've not seen this.
That's very strange. Did I not? I didn't send. Oh, I didn't. You're right. You know what? Actually, I did not put a link in the rundown. I'm sorry.
I can't. How did I miss this?
I don't know.
I feel like this is the sort of thing you would have noticed, Mr.
I don't know how I would have missed this. Huh. Curious. Strange even.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll find a link so you can look at it, because I don't want you to.
I'll
not be.
get back to it. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe by next week you'll have seen it and you can discuss it a bit more. Maybe I don't know.
Possibly. Yeah.
And you call yourself a kit nerd?
Well, I'm kit nerd, not a kit magnet. Yeah.
Check out that kit magnet.
Think of that one. Think of that one all the way through, guys. Come on.
That was good.
Like I've ever had inside knowledge on any of this shit. You think that the Twitter handle might have afforded me that by now?
One would think that someone would just be like, send you like a note or
just like a little
something, just a little nudge,
a little psst, hey, Mark, action. No, not even, unless of course it's followed by a one of those suspicious looking links where they want to take all my personal information or send them money, which is nothing to do with kits, at least the way I would normally transact with getting kits. Anyway, point is that not once. So we'll see. So
people have been asking for onyx. There's been a lot of there's some onyx in it. Some of the stripes are onyx.
You mean like slam? Da 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 da.
Noise. Those are hoops, Kristin. Horizontal stripes are hoops.
Go on.
People like hoops.
Mark likes hoops. Mark, have you looked at the picture I just sent you yet?
I do like it.
I like spaghetti hoops.
Yum.
I think this will be a kit that 20 years from now people will be clamoring to buy on the internet.
Intriguing.
Okay. So what you're saying is we should be looking at this as an investment.
Yes.
Buy it now and
seal it, hermetically seal it in your humidor.
Right. Yes.
Mint condition. And then make a killing in the year 2043.
Yes.
On whatever the internet is then, in your mind, in the hive connection or whatever we're going to have in 20 years when we're overrun by robots or worm people.
Or robot worm people.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But as long as the robots are in hoops, it's okay.
Oh, robots love the footy.
Yeah. That's a known fact.
I do like if the socks that like Insigne was wearing and are apparently part of the leak. I like the socks. The socks are great, and they do pair nicely with the kit. But what I thought out of all the reactions, other than the fact that again I'm back and forth on this one. I don't automatically hate it. Again, I don't know if it's just hanging awkwardly on the hanger. Anyway, but what I thought was sort of interesting, you've got this whole side of the fan base is like, oh, bring back the onyx, we need onyx. And then I saw almost an equal number of, we're the Reds. Why isn't it red? And I'm like, are people just having a laugh? Are they
I
serious?
feel like the home kit should be red. You do Onyx is an away kit, surely. This is the home kit?
I don't know. Is it the home kit? Yeah, it is the home kit. Sorry, yes, it is. It's the home kit.
Well, then I'm outraged. I didn't care, but now I'm outraged.
I think the sponsor's bigger too, Duncan.
The shorts will be red. Does that help counterbalance it? No, not really. The sleeves are red. There's red piping in the hoops.
Red pipe, there is, yes, that's true. Yeah, that's exciting. But
the back will probably be all red because it's an MLS kit and they very rarely carry patterns.
What if we wrap it in one of those red thread bungee things from the Kevin Payne era? What were those called again?
The band of
allegiance or whatever.
Band of allegiance.
Yeah. There you go. How about that? Does that turn you on, Dunk?
Sold. Yes. With those, like the little T thing, just sort of like swinging off. Yeah, just set it up so it's almost like the, kind of like pasties. I just that the little those little T's just hanging off the nipples area of the shirt. Yeah,
perfect.
That could work.
Well, until we get to see the genuine article, but I don't know. Okay, so I'll just around the table, yes or no to this kit.
No, but not really more no than a lot of the other kits recently. So whatever.
Okay.
I'm fine with it. I think it's different. I'm all for doing something different. Yes, I'm kind of in the school that the home kit should be kind of one way, but it doesn't bother me. And I do think it's going to be a cult. I do think it'll be a cult kit because it's so different.
Okay, Marcus?
My Twitter's not working. So weird.
Sorry. I should I text it to you?
You know what? I don't want to hold the show up. We're doing so well in time.
That's true. I feel for, for hoops.
I feel for hoops.
I really love hoops.
Anyway, I think I'm leaning towards, I think I like it. I really do want to see it in person before I make a final judgment, but I did not have a visceral hatred of it. So, and I often do for TFC kits. So I figure that's a good sign. All right. Well, we got just a couple more things to talk about here, people. So this is good. All right. So what's coming up? You were asking about this, the Voyageurs Cup draw and the pots and the dates and all these things. So
Terry's balls.
Next Tuesday, live on One Soccer. I know. They're going to do the draw. It's very exciting. So there are the draw pots. It's so funny. The pots are as follows. So there's 5 Western clubs. So Aquaman, whatever we're calling Vancouver FC, Langley FC. What are we calling them again? The Rovers, the Pony Boys, and the Gray Mice. And then the Eastern clubs. So Handies, the YU guys, Otleti, the Snowflakes, and the Wanderers. And then the Eastern semi-pro clubs, they're in their own pot. So the Azzurri and Laval. And then the 2 finalists from last year have a bye. So what's this? Oh, that's interesting. So due to weather considerations and stadium availability, Halifax, Winnipeg, Calgary, and Vancouver would not be able to host in the preliminary round of the Canadian Championship.
It can't be that fucking cold in Vancouver in April.
Could venue availability as well. There was 2 reasons.
Right.
Who's playing at PC Place?
What the fuck is happening in Langley? Langley, come on, it's Langley. How many other fucking things are there going to be there? Come on.
That stadium looked like a parking lot.
Anyway, so the draw will be next Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern time, 5 p.m. Pacific time. Obviously, we will talk about this next week to see, what's how it all shuffles out.
I'm outraged already.
The first round is April 18th to 20th. The quarterfinals, May 9th to 11th. Semifinals, May 23rd to 25th. And the final will be scheduled for sometime in June once the finalists are known. So it's nice in that it's going to be a pretty quick tournament. So that's
tough. That's tough on the MLS though, because they got to take another month off.
I know. All the leagues have to take all this time off. But yeah, I sort of hope that I hope we get some good matchups. Prior to drawing the matches, one team from the pot of Eastern professional clubs will be drawn into the Western pot to even the two sides at 6 clubs apiece.
I hope it's Halifax.
For the preliminary round, meaning there will be 3 opening round matches in both regions. Following the draw for the preliminary round matches, the home and away positions for the quarterfinals, semifinals, and final will be drawn to complete the bracket setup. Dun, dun, dun. So there you go.
I look forward to the final in 3 years.
I hope that it is. I hope that it is just like a fun tournament this year. Just back to normal sort of thing. And I hope we get to go to some good matches. That's I'm sort of like waiting for the draws to see what's kind of like in the region drivable sort of thing to maybe get to, because that'll be cool. But yeah, so that's going to be great. And then I don't know. It's hard to until the draw is done. There's like, sure, we can wish for this matchup versus this matchup, but
think of the banter if Vaughn gets York U.
Oh, that's almost 30 people talking about it. That's crazy.
One says they're from,
and 20 of them will be from Vaughn.
One of them says they're from the 905 but aren't.
Dun, dun, dun.
Who will be the real 905ers?
I mean, if it was Vaughan versus York 9, then it's York 9 versus one of the 9. What's going on?
They would have to have been York.
Oh my
8.
God! Like that's like that's like through the looking glass here, people. All right. So yes.
Again, how is the draw being done? What's the actual physical format?
It doesn't say. I'm sorry.
He's a physical format.
Yes, he is.
Or
if they have said, I have not found the specific information as of yet. I'm just curious if they're going to try to spread it out over an hour or what. I think that, and I sort of expect that they will.
And now the CSA dancers.
Oh my God, yes. Please, let's have CSA dancers. But what it should be is like former national team players.
Hey, speaking of which, Alec Bunbury got honored by Maritimo this weekend.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He's still their leading scorer.
I know, after like 20 years or whatever. It was wild. Oh, that's right. I did see that. That was so cool.
I almost got to go. Not to the game specifically, but to Maritimo. I'm sorry?
I was gonna say, wait, you were gonna go see Alex Bunbury honored? I know you're a big fan.
No.
Wow.
There was a plan afoot to go to end up on Funchal in like a couple months as a vacation, and they were gonna be hosting Benfica on the Sunday.
Oh.
Yeah, they were completely how can I put it? Coincidental. Like it wasn't like we were going for it.
Yeah.
We were going, and I looked at the schedule and like, holy shit, of all the teams, which was great because Maritimo they don't sell out for when Benfica shows up. Like they get a great crowd, but there seems to be tickets available. So, but that did not happen. So it's all good. Anyway, yeah, it would have been nice to go there and get a kit and possibly have a kit crime where they put his number and Alex along the shoulders. So
That would have been fun. Shaw.
hey, I wouldn't have been mad, Era.
Who needs Atlas?
Yeah, exactly. Who needs Atlas?
Not me, obviously. Anyway, yeah, no, that is very cool. I did see that on Instagram, so that was pretty cool. He's such a cool guy. Now if you could just get that Quebec-based CanPL team happening.
Mhm.
Anyway, so yes.
Yeah, Patrice Bernier is too busy being the Quebecois Fabrizio Romano.
That's true. Yeah, we got to get him refocused. Good point.
Yes.
So yes. So that's basically it. That's there's nothing else coming up except for obviously the draw next week and hopefully an official kit reveal and a Sean Johnson announcement. We've talked about all these things. So that's our show. That's the show for this week, people. I know. So please join us next week when we hopefully welcome Sean Johnson into the fold. And
Is he on the show?
Well,
Yes.
Trying.
Probably not though.
Probably not. I'll talk to Q, see what he has to say now. He might know him. But we'll talk about the kit. We'll talk about Sean Johnson. We'll talk about the V-Cup draw. And then we will start perhaps discussing the She Believes Cup because that's coming up pretty darn soon. And see what else is happening in the world of football. I have been joined by the entire Vocal Minority Podcast panel, as per usual, to be found out there on the Twitters at Duncan D. Fletcher, Mr. Duncan Fletcher.
R.I.P. to Work in the Red, I guess.
Oh, shit, we didn't talk
A few
about
bucks.
that.
Oof. Yeah. Doesn't need much more than this.
Well, thank you, Duncan, because you're the one who ran that.
Do I get my intellectual property back now? I don't know.
Interesting. I'll have to talk to Vox, talk to Jeremiah. Anyway, it is messed up, but out on Sweet Machines at Malarkey FC, Mr. Tony Walsh.
I feel for hoops.
But do you love them?
I really love hoops.
On the tweets at KitNerdMark with a K, not a Q, Mr. Mark Hinckley.
Thank you to everybody who continues to support us on Patreon. We absolutely appreciate it. We still got shirts. Check out the Zazzle shop. You can find the link on our website, vocalminority.ca. And I'd like to wish everybody a happy Royal Rumble weekend to those who celebrate.
Ooh.
It's going to be awesome.
I'm Orthodox wrestling.
You know what? It's honestly, it's the best show of the year. It's by far and away because it's just silly fun and it's always even when that year story wise, wrestler wise is kind of shit. Still the best show. It's a win. So looking forward to it.
Excellent. Well, as for me, you can find me on the internet. It's the entire internet at KZ Knowles. I have been your host, Kristin Knowles. And until next week, Canada, get used to it.